talk to you about Jak and Daxter for the PlayStation 2. The game is in development by Naughty Dog, and if you remember correctly, that's the development house that created the Crash Bandicoot franchise. After a while, apparently they had expired all their ideas for the franchise, and they decided to strike out and do their own game, and this is the result. In contrast to their old Crash games, Jak and Daxter is a free-roaming game, meaning that you can run anywhere you want. You don't have to travel on a predetermined path like you had to do in Crash Bandicoot games in the past. The story goes in the game is that Jak is the blonde-haired guy, and Daxter is actually the little ferret-looking guy. But Daxter didn't start out that way. He was actually a human at one point, and he accidentally fell into a pool of dark eco and was transformed into the ferret. So after the two talk to the sage of their village or whatever, that he tells them that they need to seek out another sage who has the ability to transform Daxter back into his human self. So Jak grabs Daxter, throws him on his shoulder, and off they go to try to find the sage. Like most 3D platformers, there's a lot of collecting to do in Jak and Daxter, but it's not as bad as some of the rare 3D platformers from the middle N64 era, in that you don't have to do a lot of backtracking. Usually once you get an object, you can use it right there. You don't have to collect it and then head over to like another part of the game and then use it somewhere else. So it's kind of cool in that way that you don't have to actually keep track of a lot of the objects. Once you get them, you can basically use them. The main object that you'll be collecting is called the Eco Orb, and the Eco Orb could be equated to the stars in Super Mario 64. You usually get them for performing major tasks, like there's one section where they drop you into a pit with like 20 enemies, and once you kill all the enemies, then you get the Eco Orb. Other things that you need to collect are yellow orbs, and they're used to replenish your health. The health meter in Jak and Daxter is a heart, and there's 3 sections of that heart. Once you get hit once, you lose a section of that heart, and in order to replenish the section, you have to collect 50 yellow orbs. So, needless to say, it's kind of tough. You can get hit 3 times and then you're dead, and in order to get one section of your health back, you have to collect 50 yellow orbs. And I mean, they're hidden in crates and barrels here and there, but collecting 50 isn't all that easy. So it's not like Jak and Daxter is a game that you can just pick up and blow through. It's going to have to actually take some level memorization before you can actually get through some of the sections of the game. Another thing that you have to collect is electric orbs. Electric orbs will actually power up Jak so that he can perform special moves. They'll also allow him to stand on context-sensitive pads, and they'll give him special abilities. And you'll see these pads scattered throughout all the different levels in the game, and that's what you'll have to use the electric orbs for. Like most 3D platformers, the objectives in Jak and Daxter are varied. Sometimes you're required to do little mini-games, like a short driving game. Sometimes you can jump into a cannon and actually go, it's kind of like a first-person shooting mini-game. As far as graphics are concerned, Jak and Daxter is right up there with the most visually impressive PlayStation 2 games. The thing that stands out the most probably is the draw distance. You can literally see for miles in this game, and anything you can see, if you have enough orbs to get there, you can actually travel to that part of the game. There's no loading time in the game. Once you get to certain parts of the level, it'll pause briefly, and then it'll load up the next section, and then you can go on your way. And in that sense, it's kind of like Halo for the Xbox. It's actually pulled off quite well, and in the latest demo that we have, you can hardly even tell when the stuff loads. So that's probably the one part of the graphics that stands out more than the others. But that's not all. I mean, the animation in the game is just amazing. Just watching Daxter on Jak's shoulders as he runs around, watching him pull off his hijinks, it's pretty amazing. The animation, they really haven't spared a frame, and it really brings all the characters in the game to life. In addition to those 2 aspects of the graphics, all the little touches that you'd expect from a quality game are there. You get heat blur coming off of torches, nice reflections and particle effects used for fire and power-ups and things like that. There's also nice transparencies used for the water. It's pretty much got everything that you could ask for from a modern 3D game in that respect. While Jak and Daxter isn't the most original game, in fact, it's probably the best way to describe it would be a watered-down version of Banjo-Kazooie. It's still technically solid, it's fun to play, it's linear, so you don't have to constantly play the game to make sure that you know that you collected this item, and you have to take it over here. So it's an easy game to pick up and play. It's technically, visually impressive, and it's a lot of fun. So you should definitely keep an eye out for this game when it's released in mid-December.